everybody, I hope you're doing really well today. Oh my god, to say this has been on my bucket list of places to do is an understatement, because it's a place that I'm very familiar with. In fact, Oxted village I know very well from the old gigging days back in the day, and we had just a lot of friends. I used to live down in Oxted. That's by the by today, because as you traverse the M25, you used to be able to see this place, the Kilns. We're talking about, I'm keeping you in suspense here, unless you have already known this already. We're at Oxted Quarry today. A really historic quarry. And I've got special permission access to document the kilns that are here, namely one that is standing behind me. I want to say from the outset, this is a permission visit, and to actually have the opportunity for doing this, you have to ask permission, because it is still a working site. And we've chosen a day today where fortunately there's no work going on, so I've basically got the run of the place today. And before I even start properly, I want to say a massive thank you to Gemma. It's been long in the making to do this, and I just want to say a personal thank you to her. She's been so amazing, kind and welcoming, more importantly, and it's just so nice when you meet someone like that who's just got that sort of just really, I don't know, beautiful way about sort of understanding what this channel's about and what we're meant to be doing here. So like I said, there's a permission visit. The only way to get in is to ask politely, if possible, if you want to come here and visit this, obviously on a non-working day. I need to stress that for so many different reasons, because it is a working site. Anyway, we're here to document the kilns and Oxted Quarry itself, because there's going to be some changes at some point in the future. So actually, to document this might be one of these rare times that we actually get a chance to document it in the state that it's in, before in the future this might change. I won't say too much on that. Anyway, enjoy your history lesson, because there's some cracking old photos of this place, I tell you now. So let's go and check it out. Come on, I think you're going to like it. Let's do it. Situated in Surrey lies the remains of easily some of the most historically important industrial lime kilns in the county, and with that contains some incredible history to parallel alongside it. This is what we would refer to as Oxted Chalk Quarry. It's noted that chalk extraction had taken place well before the industrialisation of the site, probably on a small rural scale. So its real notable history started when a company was incorporated to run the chalk pits in 1885. Then in 1932 it was owned officially by Oxted Greyston Line Company. The company connected the quarry to the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway line, which had opened in around 1884 and would have had its very own private freight siding linking it all up. The site at the time was extensive, and with that its most famous feature, namely its lime kilns, would be its focal point. Notably at its height, this would consist of a main battery of 11 draw kilns, which produced lime by a continuous process, unlike those which they had replaced, which produced lime in single batches and needed to be loaded, fired and cooled and unloaded with each process. The style and design would change over the years, and with reference that the chimneys were rebuilt during the First World War to make their tops narrower, in order that when the furnaces were lit, the site would be less visible to Zeppelin attack. Eventually this site was taken over by Dorking Greyston Line Company, who also owned Mercham, Brockham and Betchworth, even having a 2-foot gauge railway which was located at the kiln top and also on the quarry levels, showing how much the site was moving to be more efficient. And even by the 1970s, 9 kilns was still in full use, even having at the far end an unusual experimental steel kiln. So fast forward, and in 1993 it was owned by Tilken, but operations were confined to the west side of the chalk pit lane. It was still serving agricultural needs, but by the late 1990s it had become a landfill site, with the site now owned by Southern Gravel Limited, also supplying rock, chalk and agricultural lime in Surrey and South East England. Now what remains is an incredible legacy to a long forgotten industrial past, leaving just 6 kilns still standing in fairly good condition. It's the treasures that we will find in this video that will truly be, even for me, something I will never forget. So let's explore and find for ourselves. Well everybody, welcome back. I really hope you enjoyed the history lesson. What a place this is. Honestly, sometimes you just get explorers where you just think to yourself, this is like so cool for me, because it's just a place that I've known about for such a long time. So, like we said, Oxted Quarry, I won't say too much, you pretty much had your history lesson, but we're going to start. So basically what we need to point out is that we're going to start from the lower end of the kilns. So basically where the heat exchanged. And obviously some of them we can't access for obvious reasons, and some of them we can. Also, bats have been roosting. So as of recording this is summertime, the bats are not going to be as active, so we're okay to do it as of today. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you the first two that you come across. Again, this is a very active site. Obviously we're not here on a working day, I need to keep sort of stressing that. But I'm going to take you to so there's some beautiful steps here, which are really cool. Again, there's some proper hidden treats in this place. And the first thing I'm going to do is show you the very first kiln that you can see. Turn the torch, I'm not that's really going to make any difference. Now, if you know my channel, you'll know that we've explored many a lime kiln. Oh, excuse me. Bashing it on there. And it is remarkable the condition of what some of these are in. And we're only going to explore a few of them inside, because really at some point these are going to probably change, and like I said, they're probably going to be you know, change for the better, we hope, on this occasion. But again, not going to say too much on that. Planning permission, etc, etc. But this is remarkable. And then we reach the ones that you would have all seen from the N25, the beautiful chimney stacks, really, for the kilns. And it is remarkable to sort of see just how incredible these really are. I mean, honestly, it doesn't get any better than this. Wow. Let's take a look. Right, so here we are at really the first block sequence of kilns that we've got, in terms of there's two which we just had a look at, which are just sort of on the outskirts, and then really you've got the ones that have basically got the chimneys attached to them. There are chimneys actually on those other two, by the way, but they're so heavily grown, I think, from memory. And we're going to just take a little nosy. You can see actually there's a lot of rubbish, some stalactites. See the old, I mean, believe it or not everybody, they're in remarkable condition. And I'm actually really excited to actually go through and have a look to sort of see what it's like for the others. And because I've got this permission exclusive access to do this, I genuinely feel really privileged. Now, what you're looking at, the deposit of chalk and lime that's here, would have still, this is really the last time these were touched, from the last time that they were shut down, basically. If that makes sense to everybody. When they were shut down, really what you're seeing is they've pretty much been untouched since then. So the working quarry that you see now is yeah, pretty much been a sort of time capsule in a strange way. But I want to take a look inside, because this is really cool. I've got to be careful, like I said, there are noted and bats. Let's have a look. Wow. Look at this. So we're now in the heart of the industry of Oxted chalk. Surrey's industry. Look at that. I mean, I'm not going to lie, this might be one of the coolest things I've done in a very, very long time. And that smell, that damp, musty smell, and look. Can you believe this? There's still some old tools hanging up. Can you believe that? Look at that. Look at that. There's like a plug. Some springs. Don't know what they look like. The vault might be for, who knows, for some wattage, maybe fuses, maybe. Hard to tell. They're metal, aren't they? Weird. Oh no, they're not. Look, like spring that. Just can say. Look. Look at that. Oh my god. I cannot believe what I'm looking at. I've never been to a kiln furnace that's got this amount of relic left in it. I guarantee today, no matter what I film, there's going to be bits I'm going to miss out on. And I genuinely hope I get as much of it recorded as possible. Which is why I'm taking my time, everybody. Because I don't really, in the words of Aerosmith, I don't want to miss a thing. Look, oh wow, oh my god. Oh my god. Look at that. Thursday, February 12th. Can you see that? Everybody, look, there you go. Thursday, February 12th. Alright, and there's some right from the bricks as well. We've got, I mean, this is a treat that I wasn't expecting, and yet there are plenty of treats out there that we actually will need to have a look at. How remarkable is this? Look at that shelving. Oh, spoilt. This is brilliant. Let's have a look at the others. Come on. What's the next one? So, you can see this one's blocked up. Can you imagine at one point the heat, which I've always said about on these kilns, the heat that would have come through when it was in full operation? I mean, that's just amazing when you think about it like that. We're going to go through another one here. Look at this. So this is what we're talking about now. On this one, you can see daylight, which means we should be able to see the chimney. Oh, here we go. Here's the money shot, everybody. Oh wow, yes we are. Look at that. Oh wow. Oh my god. Whew. That's it. That is it. That is it, everybody. That's all we needed. Oh wow. How cool is this? This is why I love it. I love history. That's why I do this. So that I get to stand in the kiln and see how beautiful that is. And to note that I may be one of the few who's ever going to see it in this condition. And that's what history is about. That's what this channel is about. That's why I do this. It's because it's just so special. And even though this has been in the making for a long time, and again, massive thanks to Gemma, it just doesn't get any better than this. And it's local to me. Oh wow. Oh wow. And again, those who have seen my kilns, that have seen me go into the kilns, would know that on this occasion, there's nothing, nothing satanic, shall we say. Oh dear. When people writing through. Oh, brilliant. Look at this. I'll take one more look again. You only live once. Wow. Wow. Alright. let's head out. That was something special. I won't forget that one in a hurry. We'll not forget that one in a hurry. And we've still got to take a look on top. So we're not going to go through that one. And we won't look through that. But they still continue just around the corner, which I'm going to take you to in a minute. Might be able to look in this one. Now, yeah, look at that. But because it's overgrown, we've pretty much done the one that we really wanted to do. So we won't spoil ourselves too much or get too greedy on this. Because like I said, there's still some more treats. And these are pretty much all identical. So you know that in this instance, once you've seen one, you've pretty much seen the rest of them. And to note that they're all relatively in good condition, depending via which axis is which. But this is so special, and obviously nature as well. We've got to respect it as much as possible. And if I start going through some stuff that's overgrown, you just got to show it as much respect as possible. One, don't want to disturb the wildlife too much. And yeah, this is brilliant, isn't it? It's not over yet though. Come on. Right, so we're now at the far end of the kiln site, really, and yeah, not much to report on these in terms of what they are. You can see they've been well loved, let's just say. They've been well loved, well looked after, in terms of, you've still got this, I don't know, it reminds me of the Brock and Betchworth ones, which obviously we know are related. We're all related to those, and obviously I've done a video on the Brock and Betchworth kilns and the Quarry. But yeah, wow. I'm going to probably keep saying wow a lot, because it is just wow, isn't it? The amount of times, I remember saying to Gemma, the amount of times I said that I've driven past this on the old M25, and some of you would know that if you're driving on the M25, you used to be able to have seen these really, really clearly. What an honour. What a privilege. So I wanted to point this out as a point of reference, because obviously in history lesson it talks about, well, the fact that this would have linked up to the mainline railway. So in old maps you could see where the kilns linked up, and pretty much what you're looking at is the siding for the lowest section of the railway line, which if we turn round would have basically gone off at an angle pretty much where that mound is that we're looking at, and then it would have linked up pretty much before Oxted railway tunnel. So from memory, Oxted railway tunnel's over there somewhere, and it would have actually linked up to the main line. Around about there, it would have taken a big old curve, but the fact is that it came right the way up here, and it proves how important and how easy that would have been to access. So the moment they get the lime, the moment they get that extraction, they're loading it straight onto those transport trains and they're taking it, and that's simple as that. And there would have been, like I said, I think there would have been about 2 sidings that would have split off, and then they would have gone down, straight down to the mainline railway. Remarkable, and a great little thing just to remind us that of how important this site was. But we've got to go upstairs, got to take a look at those beautiful top end of it, because there's some really remarkable treats up here. Come on. Let's take a look up. Okay, so I know I keep saying to you the best was yet to come. Kind of is. We're on the steps walking up to the side, and what you can see is that they've labelled the bricks for the steps. So you can see line proof there, and the Oxted GLC. Whew. It's quite steep, them steps. A bit of a wondrous piece there, but look at that. Talking about history, they're almost labelled on every single one, and if you can hear me, they're almost labelled on every single one. It's what I noted was when you're up here, you'll really hear the M25 now, because that sound barrier lifts and you'll really hear the motorway from here. But that's so cool, isn't it? Look at that. Clear as day, that word line proof, isn't it? Brilliant. We've got to keep going. Oh, we made it up to the top. Oh, knackered. It's very warm today as well. Get all my excuses out of the way. So, as I said, the top really has probably got more interesting treats for me personally on a historical level than the ground. And the first thing we need to cover is this, which is how it's still standing is remarkable in its own way. This was an old worker's hut, and if you look in, you can still see, if you can hear me, you can still see the clothes pegs. They would have hung up their jackets from working. The original door. I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? Look at this. It's seen better days, but the fact that it's still here just is part of the history of this place, and it reminds us really of how special this actually is. I mean, when you're here and you see this, you think to yourself, wow, loads of sites we've seen before wouldn't have half as much as history as this has. And it's testament, really, that in a strange way, they've just left it. Look at that. How cool is that? The old lights that... Huh. Wow. Land Rover. Oh. Yeah, wow. Oh. Look at that. Look, a generator over there, it looks like. Won't be able to go in. And to be honest, it looks like it could collapse at any second. I think the idea is to just sort of leave whatever's here, just in case. But wow. Huh. How cool is that? Very, very cool. Now we've got to take a look at the top of the chimneys. Come on. Wow. So here we are, everybody. And this, I think, is personally the best thing ever. This is the old brickmaker's hut, I think, is what it was referred to it as. Look at this. Should be able to crawl in. Look at that. Oh, wow. Oh wow, there's a little chimney. Look at that. Huh. Look at that beautiful little chimney. And then you've got, oh, get round. Got like a little window there, if you can see that. Oh, look at that. Built right into the face of the quarry. The fact this still survives is remarkable. Look at that, look. Little chimney. I think that's the coolest thing I've seen in a long time. Just the daintiness of it. It must have been really hot in here. How crammed it would have been. Look at that, like a little bike rack up there for whatever reason. Oh dear. That's so special, isn't it? So let's see if we can take a look up. Don't know if that's going to capture anything, but you know, worth a look. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Let's try and negotiate our way out now. Always the way. Tight squeeze. Oh. 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 How cool. Getting too old for this. Oh. Wow. So we were down there, and now we're just looking at the chimneys at the top. A light that says, doesn't it? D, and then plumb 7. Oh. Wow. Beautiful old cog. Okay, Reece, so one final thing I wanted to point out before we head back down. Really cool. It's this. It's one of the surviving tram tracks that was basically used as, it was a tram, and you can see the gauge of it here, more on this side, if you can see that. And the idea was, what that was it would transport the chalk from up there and then bring it down on its gauge, and then obviously in its carts it would have had the carts of chalk, and then the idea is you just deposit it out. It's remarkable how when you look really deeply into something you can see something so cool like that. So we can basically talk about the phases of saying that it took the chalk, transported it all the way down here, brought it down on one of these narrow gauge trams with like those bucket tip things, like lifter gauges, I can't really talk. And then you're right here, And then down below us would have been the train track, which would have led roughly down that way onto the main line. And then, like I said, the far end, that steel saw chimney, that was what was referred to as a potential experimental kiln. Obviously not brick like these ones were as well, but remarkable. Those little pieces of history still here. Let's head down. Well everybody, we've done it. We've documented Oxted Quarry, one I can finally say ticked off the bucket list. I want to reiterate this is a permission visit, no trespassing at all on this site. If you want to come here, just ask, and if they allow you, brilliant. This has been a long time in the making, and I'm so grateful for Gemma. Hi Gemma. Super kind, wonderful person who's allowed me and shown me around just to document these kilns. I can finally say every time I go through for the M25 and I see them, I can now tell people, do you know what, I documented them once. How cool is that? In the immortal words of Phoenix history, never have the words because history matters been so true. I mean, don't get any better than this. Stay safe, feel free to spread the word. The channel really goes a long way, encouraging me to go out and keep exploring and documenting these places for generations to come. Because history matters, it just, like I said, it really does on a site like this. It's so important that we keep this, and the fact that nature is still here, thriving, even better for me. Anyway, take care. I'll of course see y'all very soon. Remember, spread the word channel please, it does go a long way. Ready? I think you are. Kapow.